Hey everybody, Kyle Goth here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel, and I've got my reaction to the new film Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, directed by Adam Wingard. This is the fifth film in the MonsterVerse. There's also the Skull Island animated series on Netflix and Monarch: Legacy of Monsters on Apple Plus. But this is the fifth feature film that is part of the MonsterVerse. And I'll come right out and say it. I was a huge fan of Godzilla vs. Kong, as well as the Kong Skull Island. It seems like whenever there's Kong involved, I tend to be really high on how they execute the character. There's a lot of Kong in this movie. That still being said, it's a much messier movie and definitely a step down from Godzilla vs. Kong. I will still recommend the film because what it does do and what you've come to Godzilla and Kong to see, the action itself, the fight scenes are well executed. I was initially not big on the idea of the Scar King, like basically another ape that is going to fight Kong. Didn't really excite me all that much, but the way they executed more than just the ape, but the ape kind of having this weird, like, other creature that's involved with it, and I kind of don't want to spoil it for you because it's really fun to see what they actually revealed with it, and it's a way for the MonsterVerse to feel like it's standing out from the Godzilla mythos or the Kong mythos and kind of doing its own thing. I like when this series cherry picks ideas and does things, and it would have been maybe nice to include someone like Hedora, or it almost felt like there was a hint that they were going to do Destoroyah. I don't know, but it just felt like they hinted at it, and then it didn't happen. So maybe we'll get that in the next time around. But there are rumors. Sorry, swallowed quick. There are rumors that this film was initially a Kong sequel that was going to be just Kong, but then they shoehorned Godzilla in for the money. Not inherently a bad idea marketing wise, and there is significantly more Kong in the film, but it does feel like that. And I do believe those rumors because I think when Adam Wingard came out and said that he was going to do a Kong film after Godzilla vs. Kong, I think that was the next logical step. And maybe it was that they could keep doing Kong because I think the original rights were going to revert back to Toho and they had to renegotiate those. So that could have been the case here too. But it felt like the film was a little rushed around. I don't think the characters, I feel like we never have great characters, especially in the American MonsterVerse, but I feel like they're not as strong as they were in the last outing. Not terrible, but not as strong either. I like that the film has a lot of Showa and Heisei era references, and just kind of the overall tone of it is a bit more wacky and like later Showa, I guess I would say. The fight scenes are fun. The monster attacks are fun. I will say that Wingard brings a special kind of battle sequence thing to his films where each one of those action set pieces in Godzilla vs. Kong, as well as this one, feels unique. It feels its own thing. This one, he tries some really wild ideas. I don't think all of them are perfectly executed well. There's a particular sequence near the end of the film that involves kind of like a loss of gravity. And I think it's a cool idea. I think the camera is almost just too close to the monsters to see what's going on. Occasionally you got that Transformers syndrome where I couldn't tell what was fighting what, because everything was moving so quickly. So I think that could have been better executed. The human characters, the returning ones are ones that I liked in the previous film. I don't think they have as much to do in this film, and that's very obvious that the human characters are taking a step back, which is a good thing. But because they're so involved near the end of the film, it would have been nice to give them a little bit more to do. But yeah, I like the returning characters that they have, and I like that they don't feel like they have to give every person a job in the film. Like they have to bring people back just because. That's not a good idea because most of them wouldn't have much to do. The inclusion of Dan Stevens, I think he's fun. He's a fun infusion. He plays a kaiju vet, it seems.
Oh, hey, Goku. What's up, buddy?
He plays a kaiju vet. So like he's introduced during like a dentistry scene with Kong, and everything about him is just very 80s silly, like synth kind of fun, and I was surprised by how much that worked. But he's an Adam Wingard regular, so I'm not surprised that he was great in the movie because he's Adam Wingard's guy. He shows up a lot. So yeah, I liked the addition of him. I actually thought that he didn't have as much to do as I would have liked, but I think he stood out amidst the human characters and some of them not having that much to do. Right, buddy? There are some changes to the mythology, but it doesn't really bother me because this isn't the same world as the Showa era or any of the other eras where Godzilla was, doing his thing that way. So there's some definite changes, which fans of some of the legacy monsters from the Toho verses might not like that, but I think you just have to kind of, get over the fact that these monsters have actually been rebooted like 4 or 5 times. So things are going to change, and that's for the best. The pacing is a little off. The film's pacing is just kind of wildly all over the place. When I thought the movie was about to be done, and then I realized like, oh no, we were starting another leg of it, and so I just had to kind of check my phone to see like how far into the movie are we, because it feels like we're at the finale here, and we were about an hour in. There was still half the film to go. So there's some pacing issues where I felt like, okay, we're at the finale, but we were not at the finale, and part of that is again like just not giving. Kong has a lot to do, but he's not given enough to do if you don't have any human characters for large stretches of the film and we have to look through his eyes. He's normally one of the more emotive characters in the franchise, but he just doesn't have enough to do to carry the film for 2 hours. But what the film does well is the action set pieces, the mythology, the fun atmosphere of kind of some of the Godzilla stuff that I go to see. Sorry, I don't want you guys staring at my cat's butt. He always does this. But what it does do well, it does very well, and I just did enjoy myself for the large swath of the film. It's not top tier MonsterVerse. I think I like it a little bit more than the original Godzilla because that film, like every time I watch it, I think a little less of it. But it's not as good as King of the Monsters or Kong Skull Island or Godzilla versus Kong. Like this franchise has been better, and I hope that they redirect from this. Also, I think I like Adam Wingard quite a bit, but you can tell this isn't like, this is work for hire for him. And so as much as he did a great job on Godzilla versus Kong, maybe give him his project that he wants to do, and see who else we can bring to the table for this one, because I will gladly go see another Adam Wingard MonsterVerse film. I just don't think it's what he wants. In the interviews I've read, it seems like, he's kind of doing this so that he can do his other projects. I think it's time. I think he's earned that. The movie's making a lot of money. So let me know your thoughts on Godzilla x Kong, the new empire, down in the comment section below. While you're down there, please like and subscribe. There are 2 free things you can do that help support the channel immensely, and you never miss new episodes of the show as they drop. You can also find goatfilmreviews.com for my many written reviews. You can find Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me personally at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Threads. And you can find my show Kyle and Nick on Film that I co-host with Nick Plotchuk from the St. Paul Film Cast. We have new episodes of that show every single week. All the things I just mentioned, they're down in the comments. Todd Haynes for MonsterVerse, next installment. That's my vote. Let me know your thoughts down below, and we'll see you next time. Say goodbye, Goku. He's not going to say it.